Hey guys, Sugar and Spice here. We are, as you know, we are here in Jersey, and due to inclement weather, we are separated. You know, there's Hurricane Henry done pop locked and dropped it all over our state, so we could not meet up this week. So we come to you virtually.
Yeah.
Come to you virtually anyway, but y'all know what I mean. Dag on it. Today we'll be reviewing Put a Ring on It Season 2, Episode 9. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do new videos. Also, make sure you follow us on all our socials at Sugar and Spice 88 on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. We pick up where we left off, where Jessica and Eric are talking about this Mother's Day situation where he didn't do anything for her for Mother's Day. And, you know, she's expressing how she was just upset. She felt alone. She was in the house all day by herself that day. She didn't even have her kids with her. So she was just hoping he would do something really nice for her. Right. And Eric is over here talking about how he has feelings and she wasn't listening to my feelings on the situation. Eric, you don't have no feelings on the situation. It's not your situation to have feelings on.
Right.
You know, somebody
apologized, but she didn't care. Okay, and that's her right.
Right, because honestly, you know good and well you didn't put in any effort. Like, you didn't. It takes literally 10 minutes to go to the store, pick up some flowers in the card. It could have been flowers in the car, and I'm pretty sure she would have just been like, oh, wow, he did something.
Exactly.
So, truth be told, you didn't really try. So, Eric, be quiet. Then we go to LaRhonda. LaRhonda said that she had a really great date with Derek, and they have so much in common. Then we move on to Eric and Jessica, and Eric is talking about his date with Leilani and saying how she was very touchy-feely, which he calls flirty. And
you see how he just be leading her? He like, yeah, this date was very
about the touching part. It's like you obviously wanted to bring up the fact that Leilani was touching you so that she can get irritated.
But she specifically told you that I don't want her touching you, but then that's what you lead with.
And that's the funny stuff. I feel like she says she has a good date with Shawn. He wants to do that. Like Dr. Nicole said, he takes it personally, he internalizes it, and then he waits for his perfect moment to get his comeback.
So then Dr. Nicole got to school him about accountability and about disregarding feelings, and she got to be like, the door swings both ways, so pick which way you want to go. So then he has to like accept that, because I'm sure they've been playing this game for forever, and that's super annoying, being on that merry-go-round with somebody who constantly don't like something about you that they do themselves. Like, what kind of life are we living? Jessica says, like, you know, she describes her third date with Shawn, and she was saying how she can see a future with Shawn and how she felt so comfortable with him. She didn't even wear no makeup. And, you know, Eric takes that as like a slight, but it's like, that's just how she felt. She didn't say he was flirting with me and touching on me, but you mad. Shawn says that he doesn't want to go on another date with Tyree. LaRhonda says she does want to go on another date with Derek, and Shawn is visibly insecure about it. And Jessica says she does want to go on a fourth date with Shawn. Eric does want to go on another date with Leilani. And, you know, Dr. Nicole says, you know, how do you feel about that? And Jessica is just like, you know what, at the end of the day, just respect me, respect this relationship, and respect yourself. And, yo, we'll see later that that's not what happened. But then Dr. Nicole goes over the assignment. She just said the assignments this week is to focus on family. They just have to talk about how their family may affect their relationship.
So then, after leaving therapy, Eric and Jessica are in the car, and, you know, Jessica's basically talking about the Alexia and Darion situation, saying how, you know, it's messed up that he did that to her, and that if that were Eric, basically, ain't no coming back from that. You're done, bruh.
Lock me up.
Why? Talking about she'll go to jail. She'll be in jail. No. They're talking about how they are going through the process, what they are learning, and, you know, if things are changing or if they better or worsen from the process. Jessica says she doesn't know because their relationship is so wishy-washy. One day they're good, one day they're not. And to me, that just is a sign that it hasn't gotten any better. So Eric goes into his confessional. He says that he's working on himself and he's making so much progress. And where's the progress? Because everything, all the issues y'all came in with, y'all still, not only do you still have the issues that you came in with, more issues are popping up that we didn't even know about.
True.
So, and in the process, you're still continuously crossing boundaries, and it's just getting worse. So I don't know what progress he's talking about.
I understand where Jessica is coming from because she's like, we keep using this process like when she said like wishy-washy, it's like they're not really fully invested in this process. Like they're still doing the tit for tat in the process. So it's just like, how are y'all growing if y'all still doing the same things?
They're not moving nowhere. All the advice Nicole has given them, they haven't followed any of that. She told them stop doing tit for tat. She told Jessica before, just focus on being the best you and don't worry about what he's doing, and they're still going back and forth. So it's like, y'all didn't learn anything. Then we go to Shon and LaRhonda's house, and basically they are discussing Shawn's relationship with his father and how it's not a very good relationship. Shawn says his father was an alcoholic or is an alcoholic, and he grew up seeing domestic violence in the home, so it's very hard for him to deal with his father, especially being that he says that he continues to be an alcoholic and he doesn't really put much effort forth in their relationship. Right. So LaRhonda is telling him basically that he needs to reach out to his dad and, he needs to make an effort to mend that relationship before she would feel comfortable with them getting married. And I have mixed feelings about that because I do believe I don't feel like when you have a situation like that where someone is an alcoholic and it's like, that's like, in a category kind of like with being an addict or anything else where it's like, they're a shell of themselves. They're not even that person anymore. They're somebody else. So it's hard to deal with that person, especially if that person doesn't want to get help. So you just say now that if you don't seek some kind of resolve with this person that, now we can't get married. What can I do with that? Because how am I there's nothing I could do. If I want to talk to him, he doesn't want to talk to me. If I want to put in the effort and he doesn't want to put in the effort, so now we can't get married because of that. I can understand if he said that, I think you should go to therapy and find your own closure and your own peace and, make peace with it and be okay with that before we get married so that those issues don't carry on. That's one thing. But if you're telling me like, oh, I got to be buddy with my alcoholic domestic abuse father, then I guess we're not getting married because I don't know what you want me to do.
Right. I feel like she was just talking about the effort though. She just wants to see an effort because Shawn is like, yeah, if I see him in the street, I see him in the street. Like he not even trying to live.
How long he's been trying to, because from what Shawn was saying, it sounds like he has tried. Especially being that child, I always feel like the parent is the one who's supposed to facilitate that relationship. You're the parent. So it's like, even if he's grown, you are still the parent and you're the one who, caused these issues to where he sees you a certain way. So for him to constantly have to keep reaching out to you is like kind of ridiculous, really. So if he's reached out to you and you don't want to answer back or you don't want to, hey, I mean, I got to find my own peace then and I got to keep it pushing. And LaRhonda, she's good on her family side. So I don't know if she can really understand that and see that, she's just like, oh, it's your dad. How could you not want a relationship with your dad? But it's like,
it goes both ways. The relationship, just because I want a relationship, or if I try, doesn't mean that the relationship is going to automatically blossom into something beautiful.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. That's a tough one. So then we move on to Eric and Leilani, and they're going to the salt room, and the tension and the sexual energy and the flirting is like automatic. She's like, the tension in this relationship, and he's looking to relax with someone else. I'm just like, Eric, why do you choose to say these things? Like, he knows he would have a fit if Jessica said that, but that's what he chooses to lead with. There's tension in my relationship.
Okay, is like pulling a Kai right now. She's like, yeah, because over here he can see all the things that he's missing that she's not. Girl, how do you know?
I don't like that. Leilani,
All connection. Don't bring her up in
right. I don't. Yeah, exactly. So Leilani, she's excited about the date. She says the chemistry has grown so much, and it's so crazy because she says, the sea salt increases the libido, and it's just like, girl, y'all,
both are together. Shut up.
Okay.
Y'all are both doing too much.
Doing way too much.
The salt room. Yeah, the salt room. I'm a little nervous. It's going to require us to do a little, touchy and get a little hot. No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't. You just got to sit there.
So then, it's so crazy. They're discussing how they have all this chemistry. And then, he's saying that he's really enjoyed the experience because it's helped them find out what he wants and what he doesn't want in his relationship. And it helps with temptation and telling her how tempting she is. The way he conducted himself in the date, like, you definitely not respecting Jessica's wishes. Like, not even a little bit.
At one point, she has her robe like a little open. You can see like a little, not much, just a little cleavage. And he reaches over to her. So it's not her touching you, Eric. Now you're touching her. You reach over, grab her robe. Oh, cover that up. Mm-hmm. You had to do that extra step to get up in here. You had to do that.
He had to. He wants to get his feels in. He's walking that Darion line. Y'all walking that line, and y'all better stop while you're ahead. Cause
at this point, it's like, not only are you not listening to me, not only are you not respecting my feelings, you're going out of your way to do what I told you I didn't feel comfortable with for fun.
Eric all laid out on the pillow, looking all comfortable, and then like he's just grunting and groaning so hard.
I heard that, you nasty.
I was like, yo, y'all trying it because it could be me. Right.
So we go to LaRhonda and Derek on their date. Nothing much of importance really happened on this date. They're just talking about how they have a lot in common, how similar they are. And that's pretty much how that goes.
I do want to say LaRhonda seems like she really is like feeling him now, like almost to the point where she just likes him as far as like his manhood, because she was talking about how she likes how he's like a leader, he's confident, he's goal driven, and I'm like, sheesh.
Because like in her relationship with Shawn, it's almost like it seems. Again, disclaimer, we don't know these people. We don't know their full scope of relationship. We only see them for 40 minutes on a TV show. We don't know. But it seems more like a mom type situation going on.
She's the breadwinner. She's the one bringing in the money. She's the one who like kind of makes the decisions. He's very unnecessarily emotional. Like he's overly emotional about things that are like very small. So it does feel like very like misplaced roles. I don't even think women should be acting like that, like crying all over small things. I just feel like you said, like a childish.
Not for nothing, looking at their backgrounds, again, talking about how your family life and your background can affect you in the future in your relationships.
Right.
So LaRhonda has a solid family background. She has the support of her family. They all get along. She has a good relationship with her father, her mother, and everything. And Shawn doesn't have that. So he's you sitting on rocky ground already. It's a little unstable.
Might still be that
how he is now.
He might still be that kid crying on the steps that he referenced. He is stunted. Like he might be still stuck there emotionally and mentally. Like he has to get some therapy.
Yeah, for sure. She just, I guess she just wants someone who she doesn't have to pick up the pieces all the time, so to speak. They don't always have something going on, or she doesn't always have to tend to are you okay? Oh, is everything okay? Come here. No, it's okay. She just
small stuff,
Right, just walk beside me. Like I don't want to have to carry you. So
then we move on to Jessica and Eric, and their conversation is pretty deep because she starts off with saying that, the way how a man is going to treat his wife is how he treats his mom. And that's very true. She's like, he be shutting his mom down the same way he shuts me down. And like, she's not feeling that. So she really wants him to get into a good place with his mom. So pretty much she says that she advocates for him to have a relationship with his mom, but apparently his mom doesn't like Jessica or is jealous of Jessica. And I kind of have an idea of what kind of person his mom is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's that kind of person and that kind of personality. It's really hard to get on good grounds with. Eric does not have a small,
You probably just really cannot, unless you give them everything they ask for.
Come on,
everything they could ever want, and just pretty much agree with everything they say.
Yeah,
they're not gonna.
Never gonna go anywhere. And then the fact that she's jealous of Jessica, I feel like that's just about money.
I feel like the time when Eric decided it was time for him to say no might coincide with the time Jessica came around in his life, and she might connect the two. Like, oh, ever since the girl came around, he stopped giving me money. He felt like he ain't have this and that, and now
But also, at the time that Jessica came into his life, that was towards the end of his career. So he was like, interesting down too. So
the money I'm making, I can't just be buying you cars and houses and things just for fun.
Eric he says, like, it's hard to keep reaching out to somebody who don't reach back out until they need something. Like he says, like he pretty much bought her house, and then she's like, okay, but you ain't put furniture in it though. And that's wow.
He says nothing he does is pretty much ever good enough. It's never a thank you. It's always, well, what about this? Well, you didn't do that.
That's wild.
Somebody like that.
Right.
Like,
oh, Jessica is just like, well, you need to be the bigger person again. At the end of the day, he's like, why though? Like, why? And
see,
because that's your mom.
This is how I feel. I hate when people say stuff like that. This is and that's how I feel about the LaRhonda and Shawn situations. Like, LaRhonda, your family's all good and great, so you don't understand why he's like, yo, I don't want to foster this relationship. The same thing with Jessica. She's like, oh my God, I wish I had my mom around.
You don't get it.
When you have your mom around, yes, that's a great thing. But if she's that type of person,
toxic,
then what can you do with that?
Okay, I wish I had poison next to me. Like Shawn's dad is literally sick. That's a disease. Like, you have a disease in your family, close to your family. You can't have toxicity close to your family. You can have a general relationship on good standing if that could happen. But if that person want to decide to be negative, if they want to decide to be a narcissist, which I think Eric's mom is a narcissist probably, and I think that Shawn's dad might be the same way. They might be into the victim blaming. They think that they're the victim and everyone else is the issue. Like, they're those kind of people where you're always the villain in their story and they're always the victim. And everybody's like, what do you do with that?
Especially when you're in the parent role, a lot of parents feel like no matter what they do, you should just be like, well, I'm
narcissist. A lot of parents are narcissists, and a lot of children don't understand that because we're taught to just love our parents no matter what. But where's that same energy for your child? I mean,
at the end of the day, it's protect your peace.
It is.
The mind, like, you can't just because they're mom or dad or sister or brother or cousin, family, doesn't mean they just did to come in and just suck you dry.
Right.
Drive you crazy. That just might be somebody you have to love from a distance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It might be. So then, Jessica goes in her confessional and she's talking about how, the way he treats his mom is how she feels like she's going to get treated and she doesn't want that. And she also says, like, she was adopted. So that's why she has such a conviction towards family. Like, she wants to mend that relationship so bad and she advocates for that. And then, we learn a little bit more about Jessica. We find out that she actually, her mom's side was racist, because her mom was white and her dad was black. We find out that her mom was a prostitute. We find out that, there was a lot that her mom had to deal with her being born. And really, Jessica had a real hard start, into this world. But what rubs me the wrong way with Jessica is that she said that she introduces us to the idea that she's a dancer. So we find out that she's a dancer. Mm-hmm. And she says that it might be in me because of who my mom was. And I was just like,
I don't understand that statement at all. I was like, what? I don't know if she was trying to say like some, maybe, I don't know, generational curses or something in that arena. But if your mom did this, doesn't mean you have to do that.
It's not like a character trait. It's more like a choice.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really agree with that, and I don't really understand her thinking when it comes to that. But I think that is a very, toxic mentality. Like, you could be whoever you want to be, despite who your parents are. It might be harder depending on your environment or where you came from, but you don't have to accept like a certain level of, acceptance for things that you don't really feel like you wanted to do. Like, like
that might have been something that she thought in her head.
Yeah.
She was in that position like, oh my gosh, like I can't get a job now, because of whatever.
Right.
Now this is how I have to feed my kids or whatever. Like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mom. Like,
right. So, they ended off, like with Eric actually saying like he really likes the conversation that they're having. He loves the deep discussion, and he felt like it was very much needed. And he said that he actually is going to take the proper steps, to put this behind him so that, they can move forward in their relationship. And I was like, okay, Eric. I mean, you saying it, but are you going to do it? That's my only thing. He knows how to say what he needs to say, but he needs to also follow through. So then the girls go to Lex's house, which I thought was really sweet. At the end of the day, they're all on the same show. Like, be there for her, support her. I thought that was really, really nice. So pretty much Lex says like she's feeling annoyed. She's still upset about the whole thing, and rightfully so. She's like, Dr. Nicole said get rid of the boundaries, but where did the morals go? And it's like, I mean, Lex, ask
yourself that maybe like 10 years ago, sis.
I mean, come on. The morals were never there, and the boundaries were never there, sis. You got to know that by now. They were never there, and you know that. She's pretty much just breaking down everything. She's like, based on his timeline, he said that they had sex after the 4th date, after he already knew that she had such and such feelings for him. So at that point, why would you take it to that next step? Because he wanted to do what he wanted to do. That's it.
It fed his ego. She was saying everything he wanted to hear. I like you and I want you.
Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you.
Yeah, it's like she's torturing herself with trying to find out why. And the only answer to that is because he wanted to.
A situation like that, it's no point asking questions like, nothing you hear is going to make you feel better. It doesn't change anything. Right. Like, he cheated.
Right.
What if he cheated at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., if he cheated on the 3rd date or the 4th date, but doesn't matter. That is still the same. All you're gonna do is hurt your own feelings in the process. Because if he say something like, "Yeah, I wanted to sleep with her because I feel like she looked better than you," or now you done hurt yourself. Now you done hurt your feelings.
Yeah, you're looking for reasons.
I feel like you only have whys when you have if you don't have any boundaries or standards for yourself. Now you got to know the why, because now I got to weigh out if is it that bad? Is it? Because if he's the deal breaker for me, it don't matter who, what, where, when, why. I don't care about none of that. I'm out.
Right.
You're not. If you're not sure, then you're like,
It does sound like she's trying to like kind of rationalize in her mind like a cause and effect. Like it has to make sense. Like, sis, it's not going to make sense what he did with Al. She mentions that, they talked and he said like, I know this is bad, but he promises it was a mistake and he just wants to get through it. Yeah, of course you want to get through it because you already got what you wanted to get. You already did what you wanted to do. So it's not us getting through it. It's her getting through it.
Right.
What is there for you to get through? Lex puffed up her chest. She's like, you know what? He threw away the relationship in the trash when he slept with her. I was like, get him, Lex. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Put some bass in your voice. Because it's like, the part about Lex is like, I feel like she's always like in a second chair. Like she's always bringing herself down. Like, nah, stand up on your own 2 feet. Puff puff your chest out and say what you gotta say. Like,
I forgot to say this last episode. She made me so mad when she said, I'm glad I went through this process, even if it was just to make him better. Like, what are you talking about? She just want to throw herself. She want to sacrifice herself so bad. She just want to jump in front of the bullet. Like, girl, worry about yourself.
That part. So then she says, I gain respect, but she like misspoke. She said, I gain respect. I gain more respect for myself by choosing myself. And, whoever takes him, please and thank you. And all right, so Shawn and Jessica, they going on this date. And Jessica is like, Shawn creates a safe place for me to be myself. And I don't know. I just feel like Shawn is a very surface level human being. We don't know anything about him. And I didn't even see her open up to him really about anything, but maybe that's editing. He said he's excited to learn more about her. He says like he wants to make time for what's important to him, and as the more time passes, he feels that she has everything that he's looking for, and he just be putting it on real thick. And Jessica falls for it
every time.
She's like, now that you've said that more than once, I'm starting to believe it. What?
So, Jessica, if I say that I'm your fairy godmother 3 times,
it must be true. I like Jessica, and but it's like that stigma that she tries to run away with, or run away from, like that she's not smart, and that she is like very intellectual. Like, girl, when it comes to Shawn, like you missing a lot. She goes to her confessional and she says that Shawn has been vulnerable with his feelings, and it makes her question why Eric isn't that way.
When? What did we miss it?
We must have missed it. I didn't see no vulnerability from Shawn. All I heard him say was that he really likes you now. She's like, tell me how you would feel if this was our last time. Jessica is like notorious for these questions that's going to give her an answer that's going to boost her ego and confidence,
Stroke my ego, yes. That's what I like to hear, yes.
Tell me how much you would miss me. Look, I think he was thrown off by the question too, because he didn't really have no words. He had to go like, well, I don't want to think about it. It's too hard to think about.
I can't even bear the thought. Boy.
I don't know. I just felt like it was very dramatic. It was very like disingenuous, and it was just unnecessary. I just feel like it's a bunch of bad actors giving me a bad show.
It's definitely bad, a soap opera.
Now we go to the group meet with Dr. Nicole, and Eric starts it off. He says that he feels like he gives a lot to his mom, and all she does is take. He says like he don't even get no acknowledgement on his birthday for her, and he said this all started once he started playing football, once he started getting money. And he said,
I thought it was interesting that he was saying how, granted, completely different relationships, but I thought it was interesting that he was saying, oh, she doesn't even acknowledge my birthday, and Jessica was just saying like, yeah, he didn't even acknowledge me on Mother's Day. It's like they are literally the same person.
And he's like, he's learned to say no, and that really is what started the decline of their relationship. And he actually came up with the idea of writing his mom a letter, because he feels like by writing her a letter, she doesn't have an opportunity to refute anything, talk back, and it turns into an argument and gets him into a negative space. And that's what Suga was saying earlier about protecting your peace. And I completely agree with that. Like, you have to write a letter out so that you can release it, because holding on to it is creating you resentment and anger. Mm-hmm. So writing the letter will allow you to release it. But also, it also allows you to not have to hear or deal with that other person trying to get you to where they're at, which is negative, angry, mad, and toxic. So you're protecting yourself too. So I thought that was brilliant. Nicole said, yeah, like with that letter, tell her where your heart is at, and then also just, establish some boundaries. And, Eric says that they're going to be integrating families, and I feel like every episode we find out about more kids. He says he got 2 kids, and Jessica has 2 kids. So there's 4 kids. There's 4 kids. And because they're going to be integrating families, you know, they need to be on one accord. You know, they have to be like, you know, they can't be at odds. And Dr. Nicole is like, nah, y'all could be at odds. Y'all could argue. But it's how you resolve the arguments. You have to be able to do it in a healthy way. And that is very, very true. So many people are in this world with no problem solving skills. Like, don't hide that people get mad at each other and argue. That's completely normal. Just show how to resolve it and how to be positive and how to be, you know, functioning and healthy. Jessica just says, like, you know, she just talked about being adopted. And, you know, Eric actually said that he felt like, you know, her being adopted made her a stronger person. And that was a plus for him. And that's a plus for him. And I thought that was really, really nice. I thought that was
a nice thing to say.
Yeah, because that's a sore spot for her. And for him to turn it around and be like, nah, because it turned you into the woman that you are today. And I love that woman. I thought, like, wow, that was good. Good job, Eric. So they talk about LaRhonda. LaRhonda got this big, tight-knit family. So LaRhonda says that, you know, Shawn be shutting down when it comes to the conversation about his dad. And Dr. Nicole says, don't place your healing on reconciliation. She says, place it on resolution, because it takes 2 people to reconcile. It only takes 1 person to resolve. So same thing with Eric. Like, don't bank on what the other person's response is. We can't control what the other person does. We can only control what we do. So LaRhonda talks about her date, and, you know, she says that, you know, he was feeling the kid a lot of bit, you know. And he was. He said he would date her again. And LaRhonda just says that, you know, when it comes down to it, she's not really wanting to go on a second date with him because she's seen so much growth in Shawn. We move on to Jessica. And Jessica says that she had a good date. She said that he got all teary-eyed when he had to think about, like, this is the last time seeing me. You know, Jessica says that she doesn't see that with Eric unless he's angry. Like, she don't really see no emotions. And I feel like Eric does that because he wants to feel dominant in the relationship. So his way of feeling dominant is by bringing her down a couple pegs at every chance he gets. He says, like, okay, but you don't have good conversation. Okay, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm the one who's the football player, and, you know, you're this and you're that. Like, he just, like, all these women want me. Like, look at how she keeps touching me. Like, just so you know, like, where you stand in this relationship. He doesn't want her to feel like she has the upper hand. But
I'm wondering if Eric isn't confident in his looks.
Yeah.
You feel like you're inadequate in some way? Like, you feel like, oh, how did I get her? Or I don't deserve her, really? And you're just like, well, I gotta make her feel like she don't deserve me.
His biggest flex was the fact that he was a football player. Her biggest flex is her looks. So her biggest flex is still relevant. His isn't.
Right.
So she basically, like, says, like, you know, she pours her heart out to Eric, but he doesn't really do that to her. And in Eric's confessional, he gets upset. He's like, so you mean to tell me this guy is showing you more love than I've shown you in 4 years, but you've only been on 4 dates with him?
But you got Leilani over here talking about, yeah, because he sees what he's missing. So if you guys are in an area that the hurricane is affected, make sure you stay safe.
Yeah.
Don't go driving in no large bodies of water. You know, if you pull up to a street and it's flooded, just turn back around. Don't even risk it. Y'all stay safe out there. Try to stay home if you can.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching to the end of this video. And we appreciate you guys for watching to the end. If you made it to the end of this video, make sure to throw up some purple hearts. And also don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can know when we drop a new video. And also don't forget to follow us on all of our social media, which is Sugar and Spice 88. On TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.
Good morning. Good energy. Today we gon' spread good energy. Today we gon' share good energy.
I go to work.
Today gon' be a great good
Wake
energy.
up, thank God, drink water, meditate.
Good
First
energy.
5 minutes will dictate your whole day. All about that positivity and raising up your frequency. alkaline.